So
Miss
what's
Easy,
up,
not
guy?
to look on me when we go back now. Well, we're gonna tease you now. You might have done it, you know, anyway. You misread the message. Yeah.
Those others?
It might get there. I know
Home,
what
hands on. Arms home.
You got it? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon again. By virtue of the power vested in me as Chancellor, I hereby constitute this congregation of the University of the Free State for the awarding of certificates and diplomas and conferment of degrees in the Faculty of the Humanities and the Faculty of Natural and Agricultural Sciences. I therefore confer degrees on all the candidates that the Assistant Dean and Acting Assistant Dean present to this congregation. In addition, I hereby confer degrees on those whose names appear in the program, but who are not present here today. Please be seated.
Dumelang, Sani Bunani. Good afternoon. It's always so wonderful to attend a graduation ceremony. A graduation ceremony is what I often call a very prestigious and special event. It's an event where we balance the sort of dignity that we would like to attach to the event with the level of celebrations that we also need to articulate. And I, on behalf of the executive team of the University of the Free State, would firstly like to welcome our graduates, our doctoral graduates, as well as our graduates that will get undergraduate degrees, as well as their loved ones. And I would like to have a message to you by saying that it's important for us that the degree that we obtain at the University of the Free State is a degree that you could use and apply outside in society so that we can better our society at large. And there's going to be a responsibility on your shoulders to be able to ensure that that indeed happen. You are going to be our special guests this afternoon, and congratulations again from myself as Rector and Vice Chancellor, but also on behalf of the executive team of the University of the Free State. But besides you as special guests, there are also a few other special guests that I would like to welcome in person this afternoon. I would like to start off by welcoming our Chancellor, Dr. Khotsu Mogele. Welcome, Dr. Mogele. And Dr. Mogele will play a critical role in the proceedings this afternoon. He will be capping you when you walk across the stage or the platform. Then I also would like to welcome Justice Tati Makhoka. He's our guest speaker. Welcome to you, sir. And he will share a message with you later on. We also have our Vice Rectors, Professor Naidu, Vice Rector Operations, Professor Puleng Lenkabula, that recently joined us about 2 days ago, and she's the Vice Rector, Institutional Change, Student Affairs and Community Engagement. And then we also have an Acting Vice Rector Academic, Professor Crocombe. We also have our 2 registrars, Drs. Vingers and Leisenby, with us this afternoon. And then we have a team from Qwaqwa campus. We have Dr. McDonald, Mr. Slashaw, which is the acting vice principal. We've got Dr. Dutoy that present our alumni. Then we've got the two deans of the two faculties under which the degrees will be awarded this afternoon. Professor Vermeulen, who is the Dean of the Faculty of Natural and Agricultural Sciences, and Professor Hudson, who is the Dean of the Faculty of Humanities. We also have our SRC in our midst. Welcome to the SRC at Qwaqwa, but I specifically would like to welcome the President of the SRC at Qwaqwa, Mr. Slalele, as well as the President of the Central SRC, Mr. Nwanjwa. He is the SRC President that is based on the Bloemfontein campus. Furthermore, I would like to welcome Councillor Vusimusi Shabalala, as well as the Executive Mayor, Maluti Pufung. We also have in our midst Professor Nikki Morgan, who is the outgoing Acting Deputy Vice-Chancellor or Vice-Rector. And then I would like to welcome our school pupils, learners from the schools around our campus, our community. And I think this is also a special occasion for you, because this is what the end product would be once you have matriculated and you enter a university. And I would like, obviously, you to enter the University of the Free State. And once you have spent your time at university, for all the sacrifice and hard work, you will be rewarded with a degree or a diploma. So I would like you to observe what happened this afternoon, be part of that joy and enjoyment, and also give you a hope that this ceremony will give you further inspiration to successfully conclude your studies at primary or secondary school. And a final word of welcome to the parents, the loved ones, the friends that are here to support and to give congratulations to the graduates that will be graduating this afternoon. You yourself would know what level of sacrifice you have put in. It might be a hand on the shoulder of your son or your daughter or a friend. It might be a financial contribution. It might be a contribution that will deal with emotions of our graduates or graduates. But for what you have contributed, I would say welcome and also congratulations and thank you to you. So I'm going to hope that you're going to enjoy the ceremony with us this afternoon. Thank you. There is, I referred to earlier about the dignity of the event, and there is another message that I would like to share with you with respect to photographers, that the university make use of official photographers, and they are present with us today in the hall. However, on certain parts of the campus, there also have been space allocated to freelance photographers. These photographers are not accredited by the university, and the university therefore has no control over the quality of their photographs. I would like to emphasize again that today is a time to celebrate the achievement of each graduate. And it's important for us to hear the full names of each student being announced. So therefore, we ask you to limit your cheers and your loud exclamations, making them short enough for everyone to hear the announcement of the next student. And I would like to emphasize that we had some challenges in our first ceremony this morning. You can obviously clap hands and enjoy the celebration of your loved ones, but I would like you to always respect the dignity of the occasion, to allow the next student and his or her family to do exactly the same. And we will be, in between our announcements of the names of the students, we will make that announcement frequently. but I hope that we don't need to make that announcement to lower the noise level, because you're going to be working with us to make sure that this ceremony is a ceremony that we all enjoy and is a ceremony where we respect the proceedings. I also would like to remind you that leaving the hall is a distraction for the rest of the audience. So you are also asked to refrain from making or taking cell phone calls. And please keep your cell phones on silent for the duration of the ceremony. So ladies and gentlemen and graduates, please enjoy the proceedings with us this afternoon. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for this afternoon's graduation session, the Honourable Mr. Justice Qwaqwa. Justice Tati Qwaqwa was born in Moleki in Limpopo and holds a B.Proc degree from the then University of the North, now the University of Limpopo. He completed his articles of clerkship in 1993 and practiced as an attorney from 1994 until 2007. Thereafter, he served in different divisions as acting judge and judge of the High Court here in South Africa and Lesotho, as well as the Labour Appeal Court and the Supreme Court of Appeal. He has received many legal accolades and has been a faculty member and lecturer at the Black Lawyers Association Legal Education Centre from 2010, and a guest lecturer on the National Credit Act to pupils of the Pretoria Society of Advocates from 2012. He has also lectured aspirant judges from the Law Society of the Northern Provinces from 2016 to date, as well as being a member of the editorial committee of the South African Institute of Judicial Education Journal since 2016. An impressive resume, I'm sure you'd agree. But there's more. Justice Qwaqwa has been a member of the Research and Publications Committee of the Black Lawyers Association Legal Education Centre from 2016 to the present. Apart from legal matters, he has also been Chancellor of the Anglican Church of Southern Africa, the Diocese of Pretoria from 2012. As well as patron of the Gallery of Academic Leaders, a non-profit company for the empowerment of rural youth and leadership development since 2015. He is currently judge of the High Court, Gauteng Division, and an ardent author of legal lecture notes for aspirant and newly appointed judges. His writings include Managing the Unopposed Motion Court from 2014, National Credit Act, A Practical Approach, also 2014, Managing the Opposed Motion Court, 2016, Aspects of Constitutional Litigation, 2016, and Practical Aspects on Judgment Writing, again 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's give a warm welcome to our guest speaker, the Honourable Mr. Justice Qwaqwa.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, Dr. Qwaqwa Graduation, rather Mr. Chancellor, Dr. Qwaqwa Graduation, Mr. Vice Chancellor, Professor Francis Peterson, and all members of the Rectorate, the entire management team, the scholars, academics, and intellectuals gathered all here this afternoon. Morena mo pedi ya o dumedisa morena wa ka lelapa la hao. It is indeed my singular honor and privilege to say a few words on this special occasion. Let me join the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Peterson, in congratulating all those who would receive their qualifications today. The special word of congratulations should really go to the doctoral graduates. You have led the path. You have shown the way, and especially in a field like natural sciences. You have showed your commitment to research and intellectualism. As we gather this afternoon, we must congratulate all the graduates. It is not only for yourselves, because in African culture, you are a vessel of your community. Today, you have brought immeasurable joy to your families, but also pride in your communities where you emanate from. You have opened windows of possibilities, especially for the high school pupils that have joined us this afternoon. This can only be a source of inspiration for them. Those who would receive their junior degrees, let this be the commencement of a lifelong journey of learning and scholarship. We must also pay tribute to the people who have supported you throughout your studies. Batswadi ba rona, your friends, family, your spouses, they have been with you during even the most difficult times of your studies. During moments of doubt, they would have whispered words of encouragement. And today, as we celebrate, it is proper that we should bow our heads in deference to them too. This graduation ceremony also signifies how this university has evolved over the years. And the most symbolic demonstration or manifestation of that evolvement is the fact that in the year when Nelson Mandela was sent to Robben Island, this university bestowed an honorary degree on a man who is acknowledged to have been the architect of apartheid, Dr. H.F. Verwoerd. As if to atone for that, 28 years later, this university bestowed an honorary doctorate on a man whose life was dedicated to dismantle the system that Dr. Verwoerd had dreamt about and built, Nelson Mandela. That's how this university has evolved over the years. This graduation ceremony also takes place on a day of symbolic significance, both religiously and historically. those of us who are of the Christian faith today celebrate the festival of Ascension. Historically, this is the day 24 years ago that under the glare of international media and scrutiny, Nelson Mandela assumed office and was inaugurated as the first president of a democratic South Africa. The significance of that day cannot be overemphasized, and it is twofold. First, it marked a decisive break and a ringing rejection of a shameful and painful past of colonialism and apartheid. Second, and most importantly, it entitled us as a people to dream of infinite possibilities of a better future. Scholars and historians would reflect as to whether that dream embodied in Nelson Mandela has been realized 24 years into democracy. That brings me to the topic that I need to talk briefly about this afternoon. And that is my theme of the address to you. Socio-economic rights and the role of the judiciary. But what are socio-economic rights? These are the so-called third-generation rights. In our Constitution, they are enshrined in sections 26, 27, and 29 of our Constitution. Those rights are the rights of access to housing, health care, sufficient food and water, social security, and basic education. The enforcement and realization of these rights has always raised conceptual and practical difficulties. At conceptual level, there's always been doubt whether a court of law, the judiciary, can competently order the government to provide socio-economic rights to its citizens. Can a court of law order the municipality here in, what do you call the municipality here? Maluti Apufong. Can a court say to the mayor here, you must provide an X amount of water per family? Can a court say, you must build a house for that poor woman who is homeless? If a court makes such an order, would it not be violating the principle of separation of powers? Would it not be getting into a terrain reserved for the national executive? It must be so, because after all, the national executive has got the budget. The executive knows how much money do we have and how many houses can we build. It is not in the court's place to enter into that arena. That is one argument. But the Constitutional Court has rejected all these arguments and said, where the lack of provision of socio-economic rights is unconstitutional, it violates the rights of people, the judiciary is entitled to intervene. And there will be no harm done to the doctrine of separation of powers under those circumstances. That doctrine, by the way, is not constitutionally entrenched. The doctrine of separation of powers, it is nowhere expressly stated in our Constitution. But it is how the Constitution is structured, with clear demarcation of powers and functions between the three arms of state, namely the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary, that one can discern that the constructors of our Constitution had that principle in mind. When a court intervenes to enforce socio-economic rights, the starting point is always the Constitution, and in particular, the supremacy of the Constitution. The supremacy of the Constitution is entrenched twice in our Constitution. And to the extent that I have been able to do research, this is the only constitution in the country that entrenches the supremacy as both a value and a principle. Section 1C entrenches the supremacy of the Constitution as one of the founding values of our nation. Section 2 provides that the Constitution is the supreme law of our republic, and any law or conduct which is inconsistent with it is invalid. Any law passed by the legislature, any conduct by the executive, be it by the president, a minister, a municipal mayor, a premier, if that conduct is inconsistent with the Constitution, it is invalid, and the judiciary would declare it such. The primary function of the judiciary is the adjudication of legal disputes, including those that require the interpretation and application of the Constitution. The judiciary is independent and empowered to review and set aside the actions of the other two branches of state. Our Constitution makes express provision for judicial review, especially in Section 172. It provides that when deciding a constitutional matter within its powers, a court must declare law or conduct that is inconsistent with the Constitution to be invalid to the extent of its inconsistency. It is significant that the constitutional provision uses the word must. In other words, a court cannot say, well, this conduct is inconsistent with the Constitution, but I can look otherwise. There's no other way to look at it other than to declare that conduct invalid and provide effective remedy. Therefore, the power of the judiciary to intervene in the rights that we're talking about derives directly from the Constitution. The Constitutional Court has had occasion, in many instances, to consider the enforcement of socio-economic rights. I'll limit myself to only two of those cases. The cases of Qwaqwa and Xhosa and others. The case of Qwaqwa is particularly important in the context of the acute shortage of housing in our country throughout the provinces. Ms. Grootboom and other people were living in an informal settlement in Western Cape. They had described their living conditions in the informal settlement as appalling, and they decided to move onto a land that was privately owned to set up their structures there. Obviously, they were evicted from that land. And during the eviction, most of their building materials were burned and destroyed. As a result, they camped on a sports field in the area. The matter started in the High Court, but ultimately it reached the Constitutional Court. The Constitutional Court was satisfied about the explanation given by the provincial government as to its program, the housing program. The Constitutional Court said, while we find that this program is reasonable, on the other hand, it is unreasonable to the extent that the program did not make provision for the relief of the categories of people in disparate need, like Ms. Grootboom and others. As a result, the Constitutional Court, in terms of Section 172, as stated earlier, declared the conduct of the government to be inconsistent with the Constitution and therefore invalid. It issued a declaratory order requiring the government to act to meet the obligations imposed on it by Section 28(2), which included the obligation to devise, fund, implement, and supervise measures aimed at providing relief to those in desperate need. The case of Khoza is also very interesting. Two ladies, foreign nationals from Mozambique, had acquired permanent residence in our country. They applied for social grants, and the Department of Social Development said, well, you're not entitled to any social grants because you are not South Africans. Well, they went to court, they pointed out Section 27(1), which says everyone is entitled to social security. The Constitutional Court agreed with them on the interpretation of Section 27(1)(c), because the word everyone means everyone who lives in the Republic. And these two ladies had acquired permanent residence of our Republic. I mention these two cases for their significance in the manner in which these people enforced their socio-economic rights. They went to court. Abafisa dikolo, abafisa kliniki, abachuba skontiri, abafisa university. And I think that is important. We can learn a lesson from that. These are two foreign nationals in our country. They beat us to it. They went to court. They used our own constitution. Why can't we use our own constitution? Why do we have to ban schools? Why do we have to ban clinics if we want houses? Why do we have to ban a library if you want a tar road? Go to court. The judiciary is waiting to enforce these rights. And I know most of you are thinking, well, it is expensive to go to court. Ms. Grootboom, Ms. Khoza, and others did not have any money They didn't pay anything out of their own pocket. They were assisted by benevolent non-governmental organizations, which I want to assume there will be one or two in this province or in this municipality. There should at least be an office of the Legal Aid Board in this town. I have spoken about the need to desist from banning our own schools, our own clinics, our own libraries. What does that do to us as a nation? That when we are angry about a mayor, we engage in self-destruction. It's a phenomenon that is not well understood. But whatever its motivation, it must be discouraged, and of course it must stop. And sadly, at the forefront of some of these violent protests, if we can call them protests, are our own youth who are frustrated by the inequality in our country, by lack of opportunities, understandably so. But there can never be a rationale for burning down a school. We know our young people face many challenges, complex and manifold, posing very difficult questions, intellectual, ideological, and philosophical questions that are posed by these problems. But you are in a special category today because you have entered the world of scholarship, of thinkers. You, by acquiring your qualifications, have commenced on a spiritual and imperative journey to meeting the challenges of your generation. You must become catalysts to the realization of the deferred dreams of many of our youth who, with degrees, are still unemployed. For you to meet the challenges of your times, I charge you to have regard to the following 4 propositions. First, that mediocrity, ineptitude, incompetence, which are all fertile grounds for corruption and patronage, should have no place in your world. Instead, you should stand for and embrace excellence, competence, efficiency, and integrity. Second, you should not rely on the loudness of your slogans, but on the rationality, primacy, cogency, and superiority of your arguments. Third, you should eschew sterile scholarship and empty rhetoric and embrace intellectual dynamism and rigor. Fourth, and most importantly, you should choose dignity over chaos and anarchy, the chaos and anarchy that I've spoken to earlier. In conclusion, to you, the graduates, some of you are only transiting now from student life to the workplace. My message to you is simply this: love our country and be committed to its people. Always remember the immense sacrifices made by the past generations. That abiding commitment is encapsulated in the preamble to our Constitution, which is a potent expression of our past and that which we aspire to as a people. It is expressed in one of our beautiful languages, Sesotho. It says, Rona, batho ba Afrika Borwa, re elellwa ho ba le leeme ha rona nakong e fetileng. Re tlotla ba hlokofaditsweng ka lebaka la toka le tokoloho naheng ya rona. Re tlotla ba ile ba sebeletsa ho aha le ho ntshetsa pele naha ya rona. Mme re dumela hore Afrika Borwa ke naha ya bohle ba phelang ho yona, re kopane le ha re fapane. Ka lebaka lena, ka tataiso ya baemedi ba rona ba kgethilweng ka bolokolohi, re ananela molaotheo e le molao o ka sehloohong wa Republic ya rona. Morena a boloke setjhaba sa heso. God bless you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a valuable and topical message from a wise and learned mind, which I trust you will take to heart today. May we please give our guest speaker one more round of applause. Now, we move on to a very special item, and we're all in for a treat. No memorable occasion at the University of the Free State's Qwaqwa campus is complete without a performance by our student choir. You'll Never Walk Alone by Richard Rogers will be performed by the UFS student choir, accompanied by the graduation instrumental ensemble, and the conductor is Mr. Sipho Kumalo.
Don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of the light. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with all in your heart, and you'll
I don't think you need me to tell you that they deserve another round of applause, please. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me pleasure now to call upon the Acting Assistant Dean of the Faculty of Humanities, Mr. Magaiza, to present the candidates in his faculty. He will be followed by the Assistant Dean of the Faculty of Natural and Agricultural Sciences, Dr. Shafa, to do the same thereafter.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the privilege to request you to confer degrees on the candidates that I introduced to you. Doctor of Philosophy with specialization in English, Chidora Tanaka.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the pleasure to introduce to you to Tanaka Chidora, who is a BA Honours and MA Honours in English graduate from the University of Zimbabwe, where he is currently a lecturer in the Department of English. He is an emerging young scholar in the field of post-colonial literature, with a focus on the growing research field of representations of post-crisis Zimbabwe. He has previously published on the fictional and documentary representations of the utopian and dystopian homecomings that followed Zimbabwe's attainment of independence in 1980. Tanaka Chidora is married with one child. With his thesis entitled Out of Crisis, Discourses of Enabling and Disabling Spaces in Post-2000 Zimbabwean Literary Texts in English, Dr. Chidora covers selected post-2000 narratives by both black and white Zimbabwean writers. The candidates' selected texts show that migrants are often perceived their country of origin as disabling spaces, both literally and metaphorically, while countries in the developed world are perceived as enabling spaces. However, when they arrived in the developed countries, they soon discover that this binarized and dichotomized understanding is idealistic. Most immigrant characters quickly discover that the notion of enabling spaces is simply a mirage. The candidate engages in a close reading of selected literary texts and uses a number of theoretical concepts to develop his argument. So, Sophia McLennan's notion of the dialectics of exile and their argument that exile has a tragic edge, Henri Lefebvre's idea of space, and Peter Geshier's theorization of belonging are expertly appropriated to develop a nuanced and convincing argument about the complexities of discourses regarding enabling and disabling spaces that are depicted in the primary text. Mr. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Tanaka Chidora.
Bachelor of Arts, Honours in English Literature, Mafanyelo D.A. Ngwabe N.S. Silwane M.H. Bachelor of Arts, Honours in Sesotho Language and Literature, Mokwena MC. Bachelor of Arts, Honors in Sociology, Hadebe GI. Molatudi KA. Mosia S. Tango NM. Bachelor of Arts, Honors with Specialization in Geography, Zuma NT. Bachelor of Arts, Honors with Specialization in Sesotho, Mkhize PW. Msimango ME. Bengu SH. Butelezi AB. Butelezi N. Dlamini BJ. Dlamini N. Dlamini NP. Dlamini N. Gabela NX. Gamede NP. Gumbi BN. Gumede TM. Hadebe V. Sachwayo XP. Okay. May we please have some silence so that we hear the next names? Silence, please. Kati SB. Kwase TP. Kumalo N. Komako LS. Komako MP. Kotelo P. Ladies and gentlemen, I need everyone's name to be heard. May we please have some silence? Kunene NP. Lebea S. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. May I please continue? Letibele DS. Mabaso KW. Mabitsela C. Mabuya RP. Made NSB. Madondo SK. Mahruku T. Matlatsi M. Just wait. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. May you please allow us to continue? Majola S. Majozi TS. Mapalala NA. Mapisa FS. Marime MA. Mavimbela N. Mazibuko FM. Mazibuko NE. That's mine. Mazibuko SK. Mazibuko S. Thank you. Just wait. Thank you. I would like to announce the next name, please. I would like to announce the next name, please. Mbamali TW. Mbata NSE. Mbata SP. Mbele NB. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Nkunu NPS. Ndakane SW. Mhlanga SF. Mhlongo KK. Okay, thank you. Can we just minimize, please? Mia ML. Mkize S. Mkwanazi SN. Ndebele TC. Nguni CP. Nguni ZL. Moita RP. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Allow us to read the names, please. Mofokeng K. Mofokeng KT. All right, Lenas, we want to continue. Mofokeng NJ. Mofokeng T. Thank you. Motlo Minyane D. Mokwena KP. Mokwena LJ. Thank you. Mokwena TM. Molife MP. Molife SC. Moletsane ML. Moloi LD. Mosikidi T. Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. May we allow us to continue, please? Mosikidi RG. Motaung JP. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Motibedi TC. Motoko MJ. Just wait, just wait. Motloung KC. Motsweneng YP. Motsweneng MA. Mpembe NM. Mputi KJ. Mputi NE. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mpungose NG. Mpungose SI. Msimanga TG. Ntabela NS. Ntabela SN. Ntetwa MB. Ntetwa NH. Ntetwa TB. Just wait a bit. Mvelase S. Nare MS. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. May we please continue? May we please continue? Ndaba SP. Demande SP. Ndumo T. Ndwandwe NZ. Nene SN. Ngubane KN. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May we please continue? Ngubane NS. Ngubane NP. Ngubeni NM. Ngongo N. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. Kabinde AM. Thank you, thank you. Kabinde KN. Kabinde NA. Kabinde SR. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. May we please continue? Nkosi B. Nkosi TP. Ngubuka KB. May we please continue? May we please continue? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please continue? Nsibande SS. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Ntunya MG. Ladies and gentlemen, allow us to continue, please. Allow us to continue, thank you. Mchangase SN. Just hold on. Thank you. Ntuli S. Ngumalo BE. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to continue. Ngumalo NP. Ngumalo X. Nyaile ME. Thank you. Nzimande NP. Padi TC. Pungula TP. Radebe K. Ramay Bibi TI. Ramola BV. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May we settle down, thank you. Silepe TB. Shabalala KP. Thank you, thank you. Would like to continue, thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Allow us to continue, please. Shandu FNZ. Ladies and gentlemen, please. Shezi NTG. Shokoa CD. CBC XS. Thank you, thank you. CBR SF. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We are almost at the end. We are almost at the end of the humanities graduates. Sikosana NC. No. Take a picture. Stole B. Stole NZP. Stole XN. Tabede LTH. Tabede MS. Tekiso TP. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, thank you. May we please continue. 2CKN. Twala TP. Chabalala MG. Chabalala MD. Tie MP. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Tsosane PG. Tsubela MA. Vilagazi T. Thank you. Zama PM. Zamisa SC. Thank you. Zondi LI. Zondo SM. Zuma S. Zwane BM.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the privilege to request you to confer degrees on the candidate that I introduced to you. I'm ready. I read from here. Doctor of Philosophy with a specialization in botany, Lateef Adeniran. With his thesis, Biological and Pharmacological Activity of Root Extract and Isolated Compound of Emania geniculata, he explored the medicinal potential of the plant in order to validate the uses as antidiabetic and other degenerative diseases. The plant extracts show commendable selective activity, toxicity as possible natural anti-cancer remedy. Most importantly, the isolated compound was potent antioxidant and antidiabetic in vitro. The overall result indicated that Emania geniculata possessed compounds that could be used in bioprospecting of herbal anti-cancer and antidiabetic agent. Manuscripts generated from the above exercise are under consideration for publication in accredited peer-reviewed journals. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Lateef Adeniran. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Doctor of Philosophy with a specialization in botany, Mojao Jeremiah Pielo. With his thesis, Isolation, Characterization, and in vitro biological activity of bioactive principle in Emania geniculata leaf extract. The candidate makes a contribution to the subject of national priority, searching for remedies for both infectious and non-infectious diseases. The study took him through testing the leaf extract as antibiotics, antioxidant, and antidiabetic, respectively. The result obtained from the different tests showed that the extracts and isolated compound are excellent remedy for bacterial and fungal infections, as well as potent antidiabetic agent. The study showed that the leaf of Emania geniculata could express similar medicinal potential as the root. Therefore, there will be no need to uproot the plant, thus preserving biodiversity. From this study, one article has been accepted and 3 others are under consideration for publication in South African DOE accredited journals. Mr. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Mujau Jeremiah. Doctor of Philosophy with specialization in Geography, Makwara Enoch, promoter, Professor Mukwada.
With his thesis, Institutional Reform and Participation in Integrated Water Resource Management, the case of Turwi River Basin, Zimbabwe, the candidate makes a contribution to a subject which has already been under the spotlight for a considerable period of time. With this contribution, he assesses the appropriateness and sustainability of decentralized water institutions in the management of water resources at basin level. Various challenges and factors rendering institutions dysfunctional, thus confounding the integrated water resource management process. Enhanced and resilient collaboration between various stakeholders in the water sector, particularly at basin level, is essential for integrated water resource management to work effectively. The results of this study serve as an indication of the importance of involving basin communities in integrated water resource management at basin level. Mr. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Conferring Enoch Makwara.
Doctor of Philosophy with a specialization in Physics, Leopoldo Mantua, promoter, Dr. K.D. Chabalala.
Chancellor, it's my privilege to introduce to you Dr. Mantua Ana Leopoldo. With a thesis titled Synthesis and Characterization of the Rare Earth Doped Borate Phosphorus for Application in Solid-State Lighting, the candidate makes a contribution to the existing knowledge in the discipline. With her contribution, she attempts to address the shortcomings in generating multicolor and white light for light-emitting diodes by synthesizing and characterizing borate phosphorus doped with different rare earth ions. The effect of doping rare earth ions on the structure, optical properties, as well as luminescent properties were then investigated in order to develop new phosphors that emit blue, green, and red light, or a single host phosphor that can serve as a source of white LED applications. The positive results of this investigation serve as an indication of the value this type of the intervention holds for the attempt to find solutions in the development of new generations of phosphors that could be used in the next generation of lighting. The candidate has presented her data at local and international conferences, and she has published 3 articles in internationally accredited journals. Mr. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Mantua Ana Leopoldo.
Doctor of Philosophy with a specialization in physics, Jatani Ungula, with his thesis, Formation and Characterization of Novel Nanostructured Undoped and GA-doped Zinc Oxide Transparent Conducting Thin Film for Photoelectrode. The candidate contributes to the fundamental understanding of the design, soldier synthesis, characterization, and fabrication of zinc oxide nanomaterial. With the contribution, he attempts to address the effect of various growth parameters and synthesis method and reflux precipitation on the material property of zinc oxide nanoparticles, nanorods, and nanofilms. His research has been recognized by the international community because he has also a reviewer of international journal and has achieved this prior to this PhD. Mr. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Jatani Ungula. Doctor of Philosophy with a specialization in zoology, Welch Rebecca Jane, Promoter Professor Leroux.
With her thesis, Quantifying Perceived Risk in a Small Mesocarnivore, the Bat-eared Fox, Rebecca Welch assessed risk experienced by a small carnivore, the bat-eared fox. Prior to her study, the anti-predator behaviors of bat-eared foxes in the wild were virtually undescribed. It was unknown how this mesopredator perceives and responds to risk, and whether anti-predator behaviors persist after the extirpation of large predators. Ultimately, Rebecca's research has demonstrated that even when predation pressure is extremely low, it is premature to assume that anti-predator behaviors have been lost. And importantly, bat-eared foxes retain responses to certain cues of risk, which varies on a spatiotemporal scale, and adapted behaviors to reduce associated costs. In areas of low predation risk, they predominantly engage in low-cost vigilance, which occurs simultaneously with other important behaviors. As a result of this research, Rebecca has published 2 of the data chapters in an international journal, and a 3rd data chapter is currently under review. Mr. Chancellor, it's with pride that I present to you Dr. Rebecca Jane Welch.
Master of Science with a specialization in botany, Tiwani Tumeka. Phytochemical screening, cytotoxicity, antimicrobial, and antihelminthic activity of medicinal plants used in the treatment of lymphatic filariasis in the Eastern Cape, South Africa. Internal promoter, Dr. L.V. Komoren. External co-supervisor, Professor M.M.O. Takiswe. Face the camera. Master of Science with a specialization in botany, Chabalala Bongani Donikad. An in vitro investigation of antioxidant and antidiabetic potential of Medicago lanciniata meal root extract. Internal supervisor, Dr. Ashafa. Master of Science with a specialization in environmental geography, Dlamini Ketiwe et al. Understanding the spatial distribution and factors responsible for foot and mouth diseases spread in Umkayakude district, South Africa. Internal Supervisor Dr. S.A. Adilabu. Master of Science with a specialization in Environmental Geography, Mufokendi Po Holga. Development of Fire Potential Index over Golden Gate Island National Park using remote sensing. She qualifies with a distinction. Dr. S.A. Adelabu. Master of Science with a specialization in Environmental Geography, Makubon Cynthia. Mapping cerevium plumosum in a mountainous terrain using multispectral sensors, ancillary data, and advanced algorithm. Internal Supervisor, Dr. Adelabu. Master of Science with a specialization in Physics, Kipraj Sharon. Synthesis and characterization of CDY nanoparticles by wet chemical process. She qualifies with a distinction. Professor F.B. Dugini. Thank you. How are you? Bachelor of Science Honors, majoring in Botany. Mukwanazi KM. Mshologi NG. Moloi LD qualifies with distinction. Bachelor of Science Honors majoring in Geography. Masike MD. Semela M. Bachelor of Science Honors, majoring in Polymer Science, Ndleshe TGS. Mokwena LS. Ngwenya M. Zikodes ZS. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Bachelor of Science Honors majoring in Zoology. Moloi MS qualified with distinction. Semase MP. Blom XI. Monyani MP. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Mpulu M.O. Manyoni Fundisa. The surname? Ngobese M. You can go. Mlangeni TC. Jwara S. Mabuza GN. Ndlovu VB. Nene Z. Zwane High S. No. Bachelor of Science, majoring in Botany and Zoology. Mofokeng MP, MB. Bachelor of Science, majoring in Chemistry and Botany. Hlungwane LI. Kumalo CF. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Madima Abe BM. Madondo P. Magubane N. Makatini BT. Makubu L. Mazibuko S. Mbele D. Ndleshe SS. Muzikidi ET. Sabosa MM. Tuteti LA. Sikubu NB. Bachelor of Science, majoring in Chemistry and Physics. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Some silence, please. Thank you. Kakuli MI. Mabizela LM. Mazibuko ME. Mlolchwa MM. Mofokeng DA. Mofokeng NP. Mokwena TE. Moloi A. Moputi M. Motupi M. Motloung PS. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Motsieti. You can go. Motsonen N. Mtetwa SD. Serumo L. Somteu LL. Tutsi DG. Zulu NPS. Bachelor of Science, majoring in Chemistry and Zoology, Dlamini NP. Klaswayo NG. Kambule SP. Bachelor of Science, majoring in Chemistry, Physics, and Biology, Mofokeng RG. Motiani M. Bachelor of Science, majoring in Geography and Environmental Science, Tuabala RM. Bachelor of Science, majoring in Geography and Life Science, Gule LSN. Mflanga BM. Msmanga ND. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Bachelor of Science, majoring in Life Sciences, Mazibuko SS. Zulu NP. Thank you. Bachelor of Science, majoring in Zoology, Makwa TM. Bachelor of Science majoring in Zoology and Life Sciences, Mokwena, M.A. Standard A.H.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am watching with some degree of disgust as this mess streaming out of this hall before the ceremony is over. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I think we have a problem on this campus, and I think this problem is going to have to be dealt with. And I'm talking to you as the Vice Chancellor, not the campus principal, but you as the Vice Chancellor. I've been the Chancellor of this university now for 8 years. And I must say, this must be the ceremony that I least enjoyed in the 8 years that I've been the Chancellor of this university. I've been sitting there saying to myself, what do I say when I stand up here? Trust me, there's much that I can say which I will not say. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the proceedings for this afternoon. The UFS student choir, conducted by Mr. Sipho Khumalo and accompanied by the graduation instrumental ensemble, will shortly lead us in the singing of the national anthem. After that, you are requested to remain standing while the congregation is dissolved and the main and academic processions leave the hall. Shall we please rise? By virtue of the power vested in me as Chancellor, I hereby dissolve this congregation of the University of the Free State.